space is a place for us.
Real people with real issues.
Discussing real topics.
Black space.
A safe space for our community.
We talk about integrity, right? We make it seem as if men are abusive, they're bad, and I have observed that women. So we want cooperation, we want femininity, we want youth because men value youth and a wife, and women kind of throw that off to the side, right, to pursue these careers, right? They will deal with the trash guy early. They don't demand marriage or expect marriage or require marriage. And then late in the game, it's, men lack integrity, men aren't faithful, but you weren't chasing men that were even husband material to begin with. And so now you're carrying all this trauma, painting the rest of us like these men that you dealt with in your prime.
I feel like you've been
and I think that we get an unfair shake as a result.
Yeah, I feel like there's some good men out there still that hold women to a pedestal and that they do really value a good woman. Sometimes they just been hurt and they don't know how to let that wall down, But,
and a lot of people don't have good role models to show them what it looks like, what a healthy relationship looks like, or what they're supposed to be for someone when they're in their youth. A lot of times these women or these men, they don't know because they haven't had that type of leadership growing up. Mm-hmm. So they're going out there doing whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they've been chasing the wrong women all their lives, and they finally get a good woman, and they're like, "Oh, what do I do here?"
But I disagree. Most men that are married know what to do with a good woman. Men aren't asking. Most men that get a good woman know what to do with a good woman.
Is that because they've had good women before? I'm talking about the men who've ended up in bad relationships, though.
But when relationships go bad, we tend to blame the guy. We never look at the woman and say, "Hey, she's the cause and the issue and the root," right? Mm-hmm. We tend to blame the guys.
When it comes to men, men either come from a two-family household or they're raised by a single mother. Men who I feel raised by a single mother, they have an appreciation for women. They don't.
I think it's an overappreciation.
Yeah, they don't go out of their way to disrespect women. It happens. But even Tupac, as much of a misogynistic person as he was, he knows how to treat his mama. Even when he was a crack fiend, mama, you still was a black queen.
Yeah, but he was still disrespecting women and doing all that.
That was a genre. That was a genre, right? Mm-hmm. That was a genre of rap. I feel like in our community, we don't. Our community does not disrespect black women as a whole. I think we don't respect men in our community. I think our men are not respected in our community as a whole. Well, we do not enter in good faith when talking about black men in our community at all.
If it's not given, you're not going to get it. So.
But women get respect in our community. The biggest holiday.
Let me tell you, I used to.
Black women are the lowest of the total poll when it comes to respect.
They're calling it the B words.
We always say, if that were the case, respect the black woman. Why do we say that? Because there's no
black women were the lowest of the totem pole in our community. Why are black churches full on Mother's Day? That's the biggest holiday of the black community. But on Father's Day, it's tumbleweeds.
That's besides the point. I honestly still think that. It is.
Dismiss that. No, we're not going to dismiss that.
All I'm saying is black women are really disrespected in the black community.
No,
maybe just overall
disrespected in the black community. Listen, we got black girl magic, black girls rock. Every time a black woman achieves anything of substance,
Breonna Taylor.
But for every Breonna Taylor, there's 8 black men are killed by police at 10 times the rate of anybody else.
How about we just agree to this? Black women and black men are disrespected on a high level.
No.
Yes.
No.
We both equally.
Not all of us. I would say what percentage would you say, Penny, though?
What?
That are being disrespected, like Angie said. I don't think all of us are.
I think as a general rule, our women are respected in our community. Not only do black women respect other black women as a general rule, black men do too. We don't respect our men. That's why only in our community can a black man, he not only has to fly the plane, he got to build it too. That's why we make these heavy demands on black men.
Why are you saying the black man is not respected? Because you're saying that he brings home the bacon and then the wife doesn't appreciate it? Like, what are you saying? Why are you saying you're not respected?
Because black men, outside of our incomes and our old Johnson, if we're not bringing those two things to the table, we're not respected as men. And if our average earning guy,
that's not true. Let me tell you something. Okay, so when I met my husband did not. He was a quote unquote ex-drug trafficker in a different country. Okay, so like when I met him, I didn't want to be with him. Okay, so he quit the business. He didn't bring anything to the table except for his integrity, how he valued me, how he listened to me and appreciated me, and basically how he loved me. He didn't bring anything to the table because he quit, because I wouldn't be with him unless he basically denounced that whole lifestyle, right? So then, but it was how he loved me. It's how he loved me. So if it's not about the job or who has the job or who's bringing the most money home or I've done this and so you got to do this. It's how you love me. It's basically what's going to get reciprocated. You know what I mean? Like like intimacy, okay. Right? Not intimacy is not just sex, right? Intimacy is into me. See?
But right. So let me interject.
Go ahead.
Intimacy and love is not enough to make a marriage. In order to be a husband, you have to bring more to the table than just that, because Pookie can give you that.
Not and intimacy. Nope.
Pookie.
I'm not talking about.
I get I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that Pookie still can provide that. And let's take it off your marriage. I don't want to talk too much about your individual marriages. We're talking about the community as a whole. Because if it were that simple, more of our women would be married. We'd have more marriages in our community.
Well, why do you think they're not getting married?
Because I think that we have overvalued our women. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be valued. I'm saying we've overvalued them, and we've given them a higher sense of self, and they think that they're greater than us. And so in order to match, yes, in order to match up with an average black woman, I have to be an above average black man. When in any other community, average people see each other as average, and they get together and they create families.
So when you say above average, do they want looks, money? Like what are they looking for?
Black women tend to pick, they want it all.
Everything.
They tend to pick.
It's because we haven't had it. And so we want something.
Nobody's had it. Nobody's had it.
But that doesn't, so that means we're going to strive for more. We're not going to not strive for it because we haven't had it. We're going to strive for more.
I'm saying nobody has had nobody gets everything. No race of people gets everything. And it's because of that overinflated sense of worth that we have given our women, because we worship our women in this community. The one thing that troubles me a lot is the whole notion, when that whole black girl magic thing came out. And not for the reason that y'all think. I was troubled by it because I thought about, what is this doing to the boys? Because we don't even talk about them. But that's going to be another conversation for another day. Modern women have this overinflated sense of self. And so they want more than what they're even bringing to the table. And they feel like they are the table.
Yeah,
that's why I hear
people like that. I do know people that don't bring anything to the table and they expect it all. You're right. I do know some people like that.
I think that's the rule in our community.
And it's an overinflated ego.
Overzealous, very superficial.
It's a lot of stuff. It's the superficialness of the world right now. You know, the looking at the Instagram and trying to relate to that lifestyle when that's not even real. You know, There are people definitely like that, you know, that want it all and don't bring nothing. You know, kind of like
nothing,
Reggie's
but
wife. You know, he's saying stay at home.
Put some what? Put some what, Penny?
Bust them
wide open.
Bust some. They don't bring nothing to the table but a used vehicle that the warranty is expired.
Debt.
Right.
And a lot of debt.
And they want to spend your money and they want to spend yours. Yeah, I think the older women you get, you kind of knock down that laundry list of things, and then you get real and you say, you know what? Like Kevin Samuel says, you get over 35, like you wear your used goods or whatever they said. But I had to learn, like, as I got older in my late 30s, like, you got to knock down that laundry list. There's not a perfect guy out here. If you got to date somebody shorter, if you got to date someone average, as long as he's a good human being, let's ride it out. But you got to be able to put it down in the bedroom at least.
That's not everybody.
Tell that to your single friends. Angie, you tell it to your single friends. Tell that to your single friends.
My single friends want it all. They want that man with the money and to put it down.
That's why they single. They looking for the wrong stuff.
But at some point, you got to get real and just settle. Unless you
want. They also get used up too, because men, you know, promise them the world and then they give it up and then they move on.
And now you got all these miles on you for no reason.
Because Tara, let's be honest. If you're seeking me for things that have nothing to do with me being a husband, right? I'm going to take advantage.
Yeah. You're right.
Right? And if you're not bringing anything to the table, but that's a nice looking table. That's a nice looking table. I might want to have a meal or two. Let's just be honest.
And that's all you want is just one or two, right?
Hey, I mean, it's a nice looking table. I ain't bringing it to my house, but you know, I'm not about to buy that table and put it in my living room, but you know, I want to have a meal or two.
That's a good point. Why do you guys have to just play? Just let us go and let us know we're not wife material. You're not going to wife us up down the line. Why?
Because you're not wife material. And I agree with you. We shouldn't.
But why continue to have sex with us and you know, give us long. And then you don't.
You know why? You know why?
Because it's a nice looking table.
Because y'all don't require marriage.
I think you're the ones who don't require marriage.
Y'all don't. Most of these modern women don't require marriage.
Oh, use them up.
But modern is. Are you describing modern women as working women?
Women that look at traditional marriage as no. They want this partners. They want this true 50-50 partnership. You know, maybe you'll work, but maybe you'll work and be the stay-at-home dad, mom, helicopter dad. You know, no, you need to consult me on everything. And no, the buck doesn't stop with you. We need to have a Continental Congress convention on every decision. We're equals.
Yeah. No, wait. So do you think that because you bring home the bacon that we don't get to have a opinion or a meeting about?
So in a traditional marriage, so I'm going to use some pilot metaphors here because I think it's a perfect metaphor. Y'all have all flown commercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many pilots do you see when you get on that plane?
Two.
One or two.
Two. It's always two. You fly commercial, it's always two pilots, right? There's a captain and there's a first officer, right? Their job is to make sure that plane gets from point A to point B safely with all the people in the back.
Black Space, a safe space for our community.